As a former empire itself, Britain has always been fascinated with the comings and goings of the superpower that succeeded it in the world, the US, and that's always the case with the presidential election here. President Obama's always been very popular in the UK.
From my point, I would have thought people in this country would probably lean towards Obama. I don't think Mitt Romney is particularly bad. I just think that his policies won't work here and in the wider world.
He's very cleverly forged a good relationship with the British Prime Minister, David Cameron, who is a conservative. You would think that that would make him more liable to ally with Mitt Romney, but Obama and Cameron have had kind of a love fest going for the last couple of years.
We have developed a history, perhaps to do with having the same language, of being the little brother, as it were, of the Americans. And I'd quite like it not to be like that.
The president came here in 2011 and gave the first address by a U.S. president to a joint session of Parliament.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States of America, Barack Obama.
I don't think people think Barack Obama has done enough for the country in the last 4 years. America's got into more debt over the last 4 years, and he's not boosted the amount of jobs overall in the country. I prefer what Obama is doing overseas, but I prefer what Romney is doing in the country.
There was a big dinner at Buckingham Palace. Cameron went to the U.S. and attended a March Madness game with the president. So Mitt Romney, on the other hand, has had trouble getting the British Prime Minister's attention. He didn't see Romney when he visited the U.S. earlier this year. Mitt Romney came here and had some trouble with the British people when he made a couple of gaffes on his first trip as the Republican prospective nominee here. He speculated about the fact that the Brits might not be able to handle the security job at the Olympics, and he also committed another no-no when he said that he met with the head of the spy agency, MI6.
I know relatively little about Mitt Romney. I know that he worked for Bain & Company originally, so he's coming out of a consultancy background. He was a businessman, and he's looking to come into government from a business background.
You can sort of sense the popularity of Obama and the expectation that he's going to win with events like last night's endorsement of President Obama by Mayor Michael Bloomberg of New York, which was on the front page of most of the British newspapers, including The Guardian, which you can see here, which bannered it and made it bad news for Mitt Romney.
I think to a certain extent there's a certain amount of rigmarole about it. It's totally unlike any other election campaign that goes on, say for example here or in Europe. It's so much more kind of commercialised, and it's almost like a sort of celebrity fame campaign. And there seems to be very little focus on policy and much more focus on kind of personal attributes, family background, etc.
It's very important part of life because America's obviously one of our closest allies.